guys, it's Way here, and welcome back to a brand new video. Now today I'm going to bring you guys a FIFA 17 finishing tutorial. Now, for those of you who don't know, I've been having a lot of trouble finishing and scoring goals on FIFA 17. I can create a lot of chances, but up until now, I wasn't that good at finishing, but I've spent a lot of time on the demo. I know what works, I know what doesn't work. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to finish and how to score more goals on FIFA 17. Now there are four main ways of shooting. There are power shots, finesse shots, the new driven shots, and also chip shots. Now all of these different types of shots can work well in different circumstances, but the main thing you need to know when it comes to finishing is when to use these shots and when not to use them, because all of them work well, but they all work well in different kind of circumstances, different situations, and that is the most important thing when it comes to finishing, is knowing when to use these types of shots. So this video should definitely help you guys out if you're struggling with scoring goals, if you're struggling with finishing. So if you could drop a like on the video right now, that would be awesome. I've got loads more FIFA 17 tutorials coming out in the next couple of days. So just comment anything you do want to see in the comments down below. We start off with the first and probably the most popular type of finishing, which is the finesse shot. Now the finesse shot, people have been using this for years on FIFA. It's been on every single FIFA as far as I can remember, and it's very simple. All you want to do is just press the right bumper, so RB on Xbox, and the shoot button, so B as well on Xbox. Now it's very, very simple. You just curl the ball into the back of the net. It's an accurate shot. You don't want to put too much power on it. Just tap the shoot button. You don't want to put more than like 2 bars of power, or it's going to go way over the bar. Now it works best in the penalty area. You can score from range with it, but I would definitely recommend using it in the penalty area. You can finish near post or far post, and it's very effective. Now the key thing to this is you don't want to be running straight at the goalkeeper. You want to have a slight angle. You will see in all of these clips here, I just open up my body slightly so I can finesse it into the far corner, and that is what you want to do. You want to just slightly open up that angle, and it's going to make the finish a lot easier, and you're going to be scoring a lot more goals. So you do want to make sure that you just open up that angle slightly. It's a great shot for using when you are coming in from cutting inside and coming in from out wide. As you see there with Sane, did a nice Cruyff turn to just create some space, and with that angle there, it's an easy finesse shot into the far post. He's always going to be putting that into the back of the net, and it's a very, very easy finish. Now moving on to the next type of finish, which is probably the most overpowered type of shooting on FIFA 17, and that is the driven shot. Now the driven shot is actually brand new to FIFA 17, and you basically just double tap the shoot button. Very simple. You can hold the shoot button for slightly longer if you want more power, but you don't really need too much power on this type of shot. It just rolls it under the keeper. It's so OP and it's so easy to score. It's just such an effective way of scoring. Now you want to use this in the penalty area. You don't want to use it from range, and it's most effective at close range with the goalkeeper, or if you are running quite slowly in the penalty area. Now if you are in the 6-yard box, definitely go for a double tap B shot pretty much every single time, unless you are at quite a tight angle, so running maybe along the byline. In that case you would want to do a finesse shot, but once you are kind of near the penalty spot, go for a double tap or driven shot, and it's going to go into the back of the net pretty much every single time. Now the most effective way of using this shot is once you are in a one-on-one situation, or once you are through on the goalkeeper without too many defenders in distance of you, like you saw there with Costa. You want to just run at the keeper, and at close quarters it's going to be so hard for the goalkeeper to save it, just because a shot that's very, very low down to the keeper is going to be hard to save, even when it's being taken from quite a way away from the keeper. However, if you are very close to the keeper, they're going to have hardly any time at all to get down to it. It just makes it so easy to save. Now if you get the ball still in the penalty area, so you're not moving, say you do a scoop turn like Hazard did there, or you're holding the ball up, this shot again is very, very good because you've got the time to kind of pick where you want to shoot, and you can just roll it into that bottom corner. Now it's also a very effective way of finishing when you do cutbacks or sweats, because it means that you guarantee that the ball's going into the back of the net, because probably about 1 in 10 times you're going to put the ball over or put it wide once you do a cutback if you just do a normal shot. So I would recommend doing a driven shot just for a normal kind of cutback or anything like that, just to guarantee you scoring the goal. But the best way of using this by far is when you go wide of the keeper. Like you see here, if you get on in a one-on-one situation, you just want to take it wide of the keeper, run slightly wider. It's going to open up an angle, and you just roll it into the back of the net. It is so simple, it is unbelievable. Now moving on to the next type of finishing, and this is the chip shot. Now the chip shot is not very effective on FIFA 17, so I'm not going to talk about it too much, but you press the left bumper and the shoot button to do this. So on the Xbox it is LB and B. Now obviously the chip shot you do when the keeper's off their line to put it over the goalkeeper's head. It's not the most effective way of finishing. Often if you are in a one-on-one situation, the goalkeeper is rushing out, you can either just run it around the goalkeeper and do a driven shot, or you can do a finesse shot. A finesse shot's what I would do probably about 75% of the time. A chip shot is a cool way of finishing. It looks quite cool. It's not the most effective way of finishing though. If you do want to go for a chip shot, make sure that you don't do it too close to the goalkeeper, or they will simply jump up and catch it. So you want to use this shot from around 5 meters or more away from the goalkeeper. If not, they will catch it, as I said. Now the chip shot is not very effective. It's not the best way of scoring on FIFA 17. It does look quite cool though, but in most cases a finesse shot is definitely the best thing to do if you are in a one-on-one situation. Now moving on to the final type of finishing on FIFA 17, and this is the power shot. Now the power shot is for finishing from distance. It's for long shots from finishing outside of the penalty area. Now there are obviously finesse shots. You can do these as long shots as well. However, the only reason that I would want to use a finesse shot is if I was quite a way out on one side of the pitch. For example, if you are near the corner of the penalty area, that will curl the ball into the top corner. But generally a power shot is the most effective way of finishing on FIFA 17 for finishing from distance. In the penalty area, it's not a very good way of finishing because you've got the driven shot and the finesse shot, both of which are very, very overpowered. The only time I'd really recommend using a power shot in the penalty area is if it's very crowded. There are a lot of other defenders in the box, because you're not really going to have the time to go for a finesse shot, and also if you have more power behind it, it can go out for a corner. So only really in those cases I'd actually recommend using the power shot in the penalty area. If not, I would just try and use a driven shot or a finesse shot. The long shot with power behind it, it can go in, you can get a corner, you can get a rebound and get a goal from that. It's a lot more effective when it comes to finishing from range, and that is why the power shot is by far the best way of finishing from range on FIFA 17. Now it doesn't really matter which kind of angle or which side of the pitch that you take this shot from, because the player, they'll just normally take it on their strong foot. They'll either go across the body or they'll just go for a normal power shot. It doesn't really make too much difference, so you just want to hold the shoot button, and it really does depend on the distance and also your player with the amount of power you use. So I can't really tell you how much to use, probably about 2 or 3 bars, but you do want to experiment just so you know how much power you need depending on the different distances you are obviously from the goal. So I'd recommend just going out, playing a few games, and checking out this video maybe a couple of times. Watch through it just so you can see the types of shots and types of finishes I'm using in different situations to try and implement that into your own game. So the power shot is by far the best way of finishing from range. Now the only really other tip I can give you when it comes to long shots is try and sprint and then hit the ball. So you hit the ball when it is as far away from you as it is in your sprinting basically. So that's just going to allow you to get slightly more power behind the ball. So just hit it while sprinting, and generally you are going to be able to get that into the back of that more times than not. So it is a very effective way of finishing from range. It's the best way of scoring goals from distance, a lot more effective than finesse shots and other types of shooting like that. And that does complete this tutorial. I've shown you guys the 4 major types of shooting. Now for chip shots, I wouldn't really use. There are a couple of situations you would use them in, like the ones that you saw in the clips. However, I would recommend going for finesse shots in most situations, as well as the driven shots, as you will have seen from the gameplay. It does depend where you are, so if you have a open angle to shoot from, so for example if you are running maybe from a corner along the byline, a finesse shot is a good idea to curl it into that far corner. Whereas if you are in a one-on-one situation, or if you have the ball in the penalty area and you're standing still, then a driven shot's a lot of a better way of finishing, especially if you are in a one-on-one situation, because you can just take it wide of the keeper and roll it under the keeper very, very easily. Make sure, as I have said, to finish from close quarters with the driven shot, so try and get as close to the keeper as you can just to roll it underneath them. Power shots, good way of finishing from range. And yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you do have any more questions, maybe on the controls, maybe if you didn't really understand anything in this video, comment down below. I'll be sure to help you out with that. Comment down below another type of tutorial you do want to see, because I'm going to be recording a ton of these in the next couple of days. If you want to see maybe a passing tutorial, maybe a fake throwing tutorial, maybe some skill tutorials, comment that down below. I'll be sure to do that. Hope you have enjoyed, and as I said, watch this video through a few times just so you kind of see what finishes I use in different situations, because it is really going to help you out, and finishing is probably the most important thing on FIFA. If you can't finish, you're not going to score many goals, whereas if you're really good at finishing, and if you're clinical, you can be playing against a very good opposition and maybe have like 2 or 3 shots in the whole game. But if you're good at finishing, you're going to be able to put most of them in the back of the net. And you may come up against someone who has a lot more shots than you, has a lot more possession, and is a better player. But if you're clinical, you can get the upper edge and you can get some goals, and you can beat players who are a lot better than you. So finishing is definitely key on FIFA. I would definitely recommend trying to get as good as you can on it on the demo. It's a great way of just getting your skills and enhancing them on the game. So if this video has helped you out, if it has, I'd really appreciate it if you guys could drop a like on the video. I've put a lot of time into this video, getting the gameplay and doing the commentary and everything like that. It's actually taken me so many attempts to do this commentary. I keep messing up. I hope you guys have enjoyed. 50 likes would be awesome. Subscribe if you are new around here, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.